Okay, back at it. I had one run. I'm not going to upload that video. I did record it, but it was an O2 Simic deck, and sometimes that happens, so the gems are down. But we're going to go for a better run this time, and hopefully I can showcase some good decision making and talk through my plays and help someone else out while having fun myself. So, okay. Pack 1. Rick's Matty Reveler. I mean, maybe. It's not that great of a pack 1 rare card. We might choose it here. Oh, let me turn on the music for you guys. Nice to have a little bit. I usually don't play with music myself, but, you know, I don't want to play music outside the game or anything. Get yanked from YouTube. Let's go with it. I like Gateway Sneak, but we'll go with this one. You know, my favorite archetype in this draft, I probably mentioned it before, and the last video was on Rakdos. It is Rakdos aggro, so that's been my favorite. I don't think it's the best. It's gotten worse as the set has gone on, because people sort of figured out what's good and what's not good and how to defend against aggro decks, but it's still my favorite archetype. I love trying to figure out how to get the win while being aggressive. But this pack is leading us away from that, seemingly. There's Dovin's Acuity, there's Spear of the Spires. Spear of the Spires is the best card in this pack so far. We're going to go with the best pack. Early on, you just want to choose the best cards and see what it gives you, and then once you get midway through, maybe pack 1, but definitely by pack 2, pack 3, you're just going with the cards they give you. Here I see Light Up the Stage and Basilica Bellhaunt. Gate Colossus is good, but I think the Basilica Bellhaunt is better. Orzhov colors are awesome. It is the best guild in Ravnica Allegiance. I'm going to go with Basilica Bellhaunt. Here we take Summary Judgment as the removal. Ill-Gotten Inheritance and Exposed to Daylight. The best card here is Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Let's go with it. Bring to Trial, Azorius Night Arbiter. And then also the Guild Gate. Let's try Bring to Trial as removal, or do we do Has to Officer? I think we get better removal later on. Yeah, Bring to Trial. Go with it. Hopefully that works out. Sky Tether or Plague Rite. I really like Plague Rite. I'm gonna go with the Plague Rite. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, Twilight Panther here. Footlight Fiend or the Vampire. I'll go with probably the Vampire. Not super happy about it. Tenth District Veteran. Imperious Oligarch. Great 2-drop. And I guess another Vampire. Exposed to Daylight. Good sideboard card. Rakdos Trumpeteer. Probably get rid of that one. And Noxious. Here, what stands out is Grasping Thrall. So we're going to click on that one. understand there's Obscure the Critics. I don't see us going red, though. We've got a Syndicate Guild Mage. I would rather have the Grasping Thrall. We'll click on that one. Okay, Sphinx of the Guild Pack is always just a good big flyer at the end. I don't see a better choice here. We'll choose it. Oh, Grotesque Demise. Awesome. Great removal spell. You know, and I think I am going to choose it over the Blade Juggler. What do we got here? Carrion Imp? Or Impassioned Orator? I just like Carrion Imp better. See, 2 drops. We'll just assume that we're taking out this. We only have 2 2-drops. Let's see. What do we have for 4 drops? 1 card so far, 2 cards. I like Carrion Imp better than Impassioned Orator. Okay, Consign to the Pit or Summary Judgment. Oh, you take Summary Judgment. Hell yeah. Okay, Orzhov Racketeers or Grasping Thrall. Grasping Thrall. Just a better 5-drop. Forbidding Spirit. 3 mana 3/3 versus the 3 mana flyer. And this is a flash one. You kind of just play this and kill whatever they're swinging with. We're going to go with Forbidding Spirit. Not necessarily because I think it's better, but because I don't play with this card quite often. And we're going to have a little fun with it. Here we have Undercity Scavenger. That's what I'm looking at. Or Undercity's Embrace. But also Justicar's Portal is not horrible. I'm not going to choose a second Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Let's assume that maximum we're going to play is one of these. You know, having a Justicar's Portal and activating on the Grasping Thrall is a pretty strong play. Got a lot of targets for it. And it, you know, it saves, it often trades 1 card for 1 card and it uses up the removal out of their hand. Let's go with that one. We'll take another Noxious. Let's see, do I take a Locket or a Catacomb Crocodile? Probably not going to go with the Blood Mist Infiltrator. Having 1 toughness is such a liability. There's Daggercaster, that 4 mana red card that deals 1 damage to all opposing creatures. I'm always scared of that card, and it's just such a good tempo swing for them. You play this on 3, they play that on 4, and there's just lots of ways of dealing with one damage. Here, I'm going to take the Orzhov Locket with the intention to not play it. Blade Juggler. Wow, I'm so glad that we found this late in the pack. It's an awesome card. Resolute Watchdog versus Exposed to Daylight. We don't have a lot of early stuff. I'll choose the Resolute Watchdog. Consign to the Pit. Happy about one of those. Noxious, probably put that in the sideboard. Let's see. Smothering Tithe. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player may pay 2. If a player doesn't, you create a colorless treasure artifact token with sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana. It's just not that good in a limited environment, but it's a cute card. Cry the Canarium is what I'm going to go with. Just having a board clear is huge. Godless Shrine. I already have 4 of these, so I'm not going to choose it for value, but it does work with our colors in this deck. I see other things I'd rather have, namely being the Plague Rite. Would I choose the Vindictive Vampire? Gotta look at our 4 drops. We have Spirit of the Spire, Carrion Imp, Ill-Gotten, and Basilica. Not a super high amount of 4 drops. But alternatively, looking at our 2 drops, we have Summary Judgments, we got Plague Rite, we have Imperious Oligarch. And then 5 drops, we have just 3 of these, which kind of is better than playing a Knight of Sorrows. You'd rather just play the Grasping Thrall. I'm going to go with a Plague Rite for that early, just lay this guy down. Here, for 3 drops, 10th District Veteran is what we're looking at. The Undercity Scavenger. I think it comes down to 10th District versus Undercity Scavenger. Let's play like we're not going to play a Locket. We're not going to play a Noxious. Let's go with an Undercity Scavenger. Pitiless Pontiff is awesome. You know, awesome might be too much. It's a solid card. It's a 2-drop. Do I choose that over Final Payment? Got quite a bit of removal. Most assuredly taking out the Vampire. This is looking to be a pretty good deck. I think we can get 5 wins with what we have so far. We have such good creatures, and we have like a lot of stuff later on that I'm gonna have no problem closing out this game. Just snapping down 3 of these guys, have a Sphinx, got tons of removal. Do we need more removal? No. We need creatures. So for that reason, I'm going to play the Pitiless. Oh, this is just awesome. This is totally designed for Orzhov to work. This is real good. Let's get Pestilent Spirit. And I would choose this over the Blade Juggler. Right? Do you? They're both 3/2s. This draws me a card. The Menace might be somewhat of an impact. I don't have any instant sorcery spells that have, like, deal 1 damage or anything, so the Death Touch wouldn't be very good. You know, I may just do Blade Juggler. Overall, we're having tough decisions to make because we're getting offered really good cards, and I want to see what this actually looks like. What our deck will finally look like. Bring to Trial. Let's see. Forbidding Spirit. We may not even end up playing. 10th District. I'm gonna go with the Pestilent Spirit, but I'm not sure if that's the right choice. I guess it does activate with Summary Judgment. Just makes that much better. Let's go with it. Okay, Drill Bit. We're pretty loaded up on 3-drops as it is, with much better 3-drops than the Hazda Officer. But we're going to need more creatures. Let's do a quick check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 creatures right now. And I don't think I'm going to choose a creature card that's better than anything I would replace. So for that reason, I'm going to take the drill bit as a sideboard card, tentatively. Another Grotesque Demise. This is awesome. Okay. Clear the stage. I don't have the second part of it. If you control a creature with a power 4 or greater, return up to 1 creature card from your graveyard to your hand. The only thing that would activate that is the Sphinx so far, or the Undercity Scavenger after I've already used it. So the second part of it is not that great, and then it just turns into 5 mana, you know, -3/-3, removal. I have better removal so far. I'm gonna take the Blade Juggler here. Passion Orator as a hedge against aggro decks. I'm thinking about Consign to the Pit. For 4-drops, I've already covered this, but I just don't think I'm going to play a Vindictive Vampire instead of any of the other 4-drops I currently have. So, you know, Spirit, no. Vindictive Vampires are better than Carrion Imp. No. Undercity Scavenger. Possibly the Vindictive Vampire is better than the Undercity Scavenger. Whereas Consigned to the Pit, you know, playing 2, I'm probably never going to play 2. So we go with the Vindictive Vampire out of this pack. Oh, wow. Might just throw another 10th District in there. Am I going to play 2 Ill-Gotten Inheritance? I've been offered this so much. Let's do it. Let's get crazy. Going to get a final payment here. And we're going to choose Junk Roller. Not going to play it, but... Okay, Night of Sorrow. And none of this matters. Okay. Alright, decisions to make. Justicar's Portal. It's not that strong of a card. Twilight Panther, maybe we'll take that out. We want to keep these 2 in for sure. I probably will keep the 2 Plague Rites in. Final Payment's a fine card. Imperious Oligarch's a better 2-drop than the Plague Rite, so I'm going to keep that in. If anything, I cut one of the Plague Rites. Pitiless Pontiff is, again, better than having 2 Plague Rites. 10th District Veteran is a 3-drop. Cry the Canarium. Might take this out for game 1s. Grotesque Demise, I want to keep 2 of those in. Noxious Grudian. I have to make cuts. Right now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3-drops. And then some removal. 1, 2, 3 if I include this. Probably have to include it. Pestilent Spirit, we're going to keep in. Spirit of the Spires, now we're getting to 4-drops. Yes. Yes, most likely. The Ill-Gotten. Yeah, it's crazy to play 2 of those. We're offered 2 of them. We were offered, like, multiple of those. Undersea Scavenger. Not as excited about this versus a Vindictive Vampire. You know, a lot of times what makes Undercity Scavenger good is that you just have these 2-drops and then you're playing against, like, Gruul deck or Simic or something, and they just play something out of range of the Plague Rite. And so the Undercity Scavenger gives you a target to, you know, sacrifice your own creature that's not doing anything, and all of a sudden you have a 5/5 with setup for the next 2 turns. So I think that's better than playing the Vindictive Vampire. Basilica Bellhaunt is a house. Keep that in. 2 Blade Jugglers. very good. 3 Grasping Thralls is awesome. 1 Consign of the Pit. I never mind having just 1, especially in this type of deck. I may end up taking the Sphinx of the Guild Pact out. We have ways to win. Got a lot of cards that do things, which sets us down to 1 cut that we need to make. Thinking of Plague right here. Would I keep that in over Twilight? Twilight does work sometimes just by having it down there. And look at that, 16 creatures, 7 non-creatures with a good curve, 17 lands, average of 3.4. I like where this deck's going. I think this has the potential. This really should be a 5-win deck. It should be a 5x deck. It's one of the better Orzhov decks you're going to see. Unless I run into some weird stuff. I know I'm making some big claims, but just so much good removal followed by, you know, solid flyers, ways to gain life, throwing in ill-gotten once you get them low. If they board clear and somehow get a way to come back. Yeah, I'm really liking how this deck's going. Sideboard options. Cry is going to be our #1 sideboarded card. Against aggressive matchups, we've got an Impassioned Orator. We've got an Exposed Daylight against troublesome enchantments, or a, you know, Gate Colossus. More removal in case, if it's warranted. This is great. Let's try it out. God, I hope this lives up to the expectations. We're going to play first. Got all 3 colors and a lot to do with them. You know, you don't love seeing the ill-gotten early on, but hey, it's a 4-drop. Here we slam down the Pitiless Pontiff. If we attack, we can do a Blade Juggler. Happy about that. And what colors do we need? Doesn't matter terribly. Nice, got some removal. Here I'll attack with both. Would I sack a creature? Not sure at this moment. If he blocks here, I'll probably won't sack. I'll just whatever he blocks with. I like to be on the aggressive. Happy to trade that away because I already got the value out of it. It dealt 1 damage, but it gave me a card. And I'm drawing good cards as backup. Next turn we have Grasping Thrall. Yeah, the way this deck is looking out to be, if they just stumble at all, then we look real good. Let's play a land. Attack. Choose that. We'll see if he flashes out anything. Okay, here I'm going to play like he's holding up counter magic. I'm not upset if he counters this. And I'd rather him counter this than my Grasping Thrall. My Grasping Thrall is going to do more damage overall. He did have a way to deal with it. Okay. He's getting ways to get back into this game. Whoop. Finds a forest. Okay, he must have, like, that 5-drop green creature that, you know, the Riot one, the 4/4. Here, if I swing, now the decision is, do I sack my creature? He's holding up the essence capture, which is unfortunate. I don't suspect I'm going to play around it. I'm going to attack before he possibly plays the essence capture. That's the 2-mana counter spell that gives, he can then put +1/+1, which puts things out of the range. Okay, here, trade off everything and hope that I can sneak this guy out. Nice. He's got a lot of cards, but I think I'm in a good position. Chillbringer's a good card for him. Here, if he swings, we'll summary judge. Well, he's not going to swing, but this is really impactful. Just lets me survive against the Chillbringer. Coda Constraint. He's just buying himself time. Okay. Not going to swing. Going to hold up Summary Judgment. Act like I have cards. You don't want to let him know how far ahead he is. Okay, so he's got another one of those, which means he's going to swing. Which means I get to take care of one Chillbringer. But would I take care of the Sorrowform instead? I'm thinking I will. Oh, he didn't swing. Okay, playing very cautious. We'll play that Swamp. Pass. Because he wants to adapt it. Okay. Now he has a 6/6. We've got to draw some removal. Summary Judgment doesn't do it. Final Payment would be good. Okay, interesting. Well, we're not looking like we're in a great spot. We might lose this game. That's a card. That's a real good card because it blocks. And let's see. Do I swing? I don't think so. Do I block? I believe I will. Definitely block this guy. Let's see what he has. Okay. Ooh. Oh, wow. A lot of value. Yeah, he outvalued me. Pretty good. Doesn't matter terribly what we take. His deck is pretty good. You never know what you're gonna face against on game ones. We're both 0-0, so it could be. I think I have a good deck, but obviously other people have the same exact offerings. Prying Eyes as a follow-up, pretty solid. Okay, pretty much, even if we drew a Final Payment to take care of this, that wouldn't be very good. Grotesque Demise, take care of this. We're still struggling. And he got to reload with exactly what he wants. And he'll set himself up. A lot of good cards from our opponent. That doesn't do it. And I don't see a way of coming back from this. We'll let him figure out he has lethal. Definitely got it. Well, rip. Okay, those are my initial ideas of cards to put in. Probably take out a Plague Rite. Probably take out a Noxious. Maybe a Carrion Imp. Drill Bit's good enough when they're holding up counter magic. Did I cut too many creatures? We'll see if I get punished for being a little greedy here. I know I put in a second Ill-Gotten. That might be too greedy. What do I put in instead? Carrion Imp? Sure. Let's try this. We're almost limited by time. If we had infinite amount to think, we might be able to make better decisions, but that's part of the excitement of playing. So we've seen good enough cards from him that I'm not terribly upset if we lose, because he's presented that he has a good deck and the knowledge to play it effectively. This was a lucky draw. So now we can play our Pitiless. We'll go ahead and lay that down. All this early damage is really important because we put in 2 Ill-Gottens. Okay. Away so that he can ramp up to his big, good stuff. He can't tap this for mana right now. I'm not scared of anything. Definitely gonna swing. This doesn't have a target. That's okay. Just play on curve. Okay, good. Arresters, buying time, which is obviously favorable for him. Senate Courier is a blocker. Okay. Now, do I Summary Judgment this one? I don't think so here, because I have, you know, stuff to play. I'll swing. You know, I just lose too much tempo if I play this to kill his mana generator. Now, do I sack this creature? Again, no, for the same reason. Just doing 1 damage. But 1 damage is fine. Set myself up to draw a land. If I play this. We'll do it. I want big stuff. One added benefit to playing this card, okay, I just want 1 land, is that I put a creature in the graveyard so that Carrion Imp gets some sort of value as opposed to 0 value for playing it before off the ability. Okay, solid play for him. And good follow-up. Now, if I play the Summary Judgment, we're kind of in the same position as before. If I swing, I want to get 2 damage in. If he blocks with the Skittering Eel, do I play the Carrion Imp and sack it? You know, I don't know. Or do I just play the Grasping Thrall? We'll do this and give ourselves the option. We'll choose that. We'll take the action. We'll swing. This probably won't block. If he does, do I care? This one, I know he has at least a couple Chillbringers probably hanging out. I'm going to make the judgment call to sack my own creature. Kill off his. With as much removal as I'm expecting to draw, I really just want to get him... I want to trade off 1 for 1 and maintain my advantage. Okay, this is a solid card. No counter magic. Well, you know. No, I guess he could have Quench, but I'm not playing around it because I haven't seen it. If I do the Basilica Bellhaunt here... Yeah. Yeah, we'll do it. Discards land. Now, if I swing, do I do the same thing and sack this creature? I'm going to go with yes, because I have more playables and he's running out. We have the pressure on. Again, I already got the value out of this card. Okay. So you made that pretty useless. He may have just recovered, just stabilized from here. Especially with this kind of play. Which is okay. It means our game plan didn't work out. He had, you know, the right stuff. To me, though, this is the fun of playing online, is that I draft, you know, such a good deck, and you get to see other people that are also very good draft their own decks, and, you know, then we smash cards at each other. This takes away a lot of his damage just by doing this, and then my follow-up would be Spirit of the Spire. So eliminates, you know, 4 damage coming in a turn. There's the Chillbringer. Good part is he's not coming in for tons of damage. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Grasping Thrall. Oh. Slight mistake there. I would have liked to keep the swamp open. That's the trouble with auto tapping. I should have manually tapped it myself. So I could have used the drill bit, taken, you know, his playables out. That might be a game costing mistake right there. If I attack, he will block. If I play that, Okay, this time it doesn't matter, but I am going to hard cast the Blade Juggler. That's good for us. So no attacks. Or do I attack? If I attack, it would just be with the Grasping Thrall. Well, he could just block it 1 for 1, and then he has a possibility to kill it, so no. It's good to explore the idea, though. What's he thinking about? I think if he had a gate, he would have slammed it down. So nothing. You know, possibly counter magic. We'll force him to play the counter magic if he's got it. And Slime Bind. So he thinks that's good for him. But I've got the Ill-Gotten. No attacks, just have to survive for a few turns while Ill-Gotten does its work. I can definitely block one creature taking 4 damage. It's got reach. Here I would play the Undercity Scavenger on the Blade Juggler, because the Blade Juggler's only blocking the Gateway Sneak and the Gyre Engineer, but I'd rather set myself up for successful turns. Okay, don't need any more lands at this point, so hopefully that puts those away. No attackers, obviously. End turn. Have to survive 2 turns. Got a lot of removal if you do a Golden Demise to get rid of the Chillbringer. I know I have 2 of them in there. A lot of stuff would kill this. Summary Judgments. Not Golden Demise, Grotesque Demise. Cry. How good are you here? Well, we'll definitely play our land. I could sack this at any time for 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. It takes out just 2 creatures. And then it cuts me off from this. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. I cannot play. I'm 1 mana away from being able to cast both of these. So we just leave it. Two turns away. Here I am going to block the Chillbringer, or do we wait a turn? We'll wait 1 turn. 3, 4 damage coming in. Okay, now we could safely cast the Cry and then still use the Ill-Gotten. We'll do that. I gave him a target to flash that out. Is that going to cost us the game? I don't think so. I think you just block this, but then you activate that. That might have cost us the game. We'll see. I don't know. Definitely no attacks. End the turn. That's why Feral Mystic is such a good card. Okay, all out swinging. Let's pass to blockers. Okay, blocking the largest amount of damage. And then using the Ill-Gotten. Wow. And then we swing and hopefully win. Nope, he's got follow-ups. Well, it came down to it, and we couldn't find it. Let's see if he somehow forgets to block. Of course he won't. And that's that. Good game. Wow, that was real close. But he got it. Okay, looking at 0-1. So, you're about to see 5 wins in a row. Hopefully, hopefully. Let's check real quick if we want to make any alterations. One side of the pit, the Blade Jugglers, Undercity Scavenger. Do we ever want to play Cry in the main board? Is it good enough to play in the main board? You know, if you just 2 for 1 people, that is such a good swing. Taking out a Noxious for that? I don't know if this is the correct decision. Seems a bit removal heavy. Let's try it out. In limited format, playing sweepers gives you that edge quite often. You know, if they have 2 or 3 creatures, just slam down the Cry, and you're in a good spot from there. And all it takes is 1 or 2 things like that. Okay, here I am not going to play the roulette and hope that I draw an exact black card. So, mulligan that. Keeping a 1-lander with the Scry. I am going first. It's the correct color, so if I draw any land, it helps me start playing. This is obviously a risk, but I really think that going to 5 is such a bad move in a limited environment. Okay, we got lucky with that first land. Need another one. Good part is that land could be anything. Nice. And hopefully we draw another land. Set ourselves up. Okay, Goblin Gathering. I like seeing that. Helps us safely attack, because if he blocks, it just does nothing. Would love to see a block here. Doesn't present it. We got real lucky with our first 2 draws, 3 draws being land. But from his perspective, you can't tell the difference, so. Frenzying Erix. Okay, somewhat of a scary card. But look at that. We are hitting the good side of variance. I'm gonna just play on curve, keep slamming them. Do I attack with the Plague Rite? No. Put him down to the 3/3 now. It might seem obvious, you know, I'd already thought about that, but it's good to just talk through your plays. I don't want to screw anything up. Takes a second. I feel pretty safe here. Because I've got flying damage coming through that he's not presented a way to block it as of yet, with Ill-Gotten as backup. If he floods the board with small guys, we'll get value out of our Cry. Okay, that was a good way for him to remove that. Oh, we love to see that. That is awesome. He's going to attack, no blocks. Could pretty safely swing with both of these and do Ill-Gotten. Okay, free. He just didn't want to take the damage. I understand that. Present that we have a way to win the game. Another Goblin Gathering deck. Very unfortunate he's playing against a player with Cry of the Canarium. I'm going to use it this turn after I swing. Because we're getting down to it. 4, 5, 6. So we'll play that. So it's 5, 6, 7. Swing with both. Elects to block. Makes sense. We deal 3 damage. We're 1 damage off lethal. Gonna use our Cry. Yep. With the concede. Wow, that last second put the Cry into the main deck really helped us win this game. So here, we know what kind of deck we're facing. Does that encourage me to play Vindictive Vampire? Probably. What's this? See, you guys see that thing? Whatever. I want to play stuff that doesn't die. So like this gets a little bit less good because he has so many 1/1s. Like I'd rather have a Plague Rite in there. I put in an Impassioned Orator. I'm thinking that he has the Cavalcade of Calamity, the 2-drop, that the red enchantment deals 1 damage every time a creature with power 1 or less attacks. So I'm thinking this type of deck. That's what he set up. That is what he's presenting. I have to make 2 cuts. It's a little crazy, but I don't want to do damage to myself. So I'll take out a Blade Juggler. And what else do we take out? Probably a Plague Rite. I know I added that in, but we'll go with this. Ooh, Forbidding Spirit. I'm gonna add you in last second. What do we take out? Whatever, 41 cards. The reason I added that in is because it might save us 1 turn. The 3 mana, 3/3. He has to pay 2 for every time he attacks, so. Slight mistakes. Obviously, you never want to play 41 cards. You want to get to your good cards. But, hey, it worked out. Because we found it. We just need to find a black source. We got very lucky last game. With our draws of lands exactly as we needed them. But that's part of this game. It's part of why Magic in a limited environment is exciting, because you can construct the deck yourself, and so you can choose, and you could be very conservative and like, oh, there it is, by the way. and you're choosing what cards to put in, and you can be very consistent and get the most amount of wins overall. And if you lose early on due to variance, so be it. But overall, you become a better player by constructing, you know, like 2-color decks, maybe splashing 1, getting the right amount of guild gates, not doing anything crazy. So here, we're not going to get tons of value out of the Forbidding Spirit. But we're going to play it, because it's on curve. Goblin Gathering. There it is. What do I want to play? Probably the Carrion Imp. Will he double block? Do I care? Suppose if he does, that's okay. If he does double block, I'll play the Carrion Imp. If not, I might do the Undercity Scavenger on the Twilight Panther. Good part about this is that even though I'm playing the Undercity Scavenger and targeting my own creature, the Scrying 2 sets you up for better draws, and it puts a 5/5 body on there. He elects to kill my Twilight Panther, which is fine for me because I'm going to play the Carrion Imp. So we're just giving ourselves options. We only kill 1, but that's okay with me. Twilight Panther, take action. Get that little bit of extra life. Negates the at least 1 hit from the Cavalcade. You know, in the future. I don't think he's going to swing here. Okay. I would love to see that Golden Demise. We don't find it. We're going to swing out. If he blocks everything, I'm just okay with that. I hope he does well with this deck, but it looks like he's already had 1 game and he lost it. That's why he's facing me at 0-1. So I don't think this deck's going to work out for him overall. This is quite alright with me. If he wants to trade 3 goblins for 1 card of mine. Because we have follow-up. And stuff like this, just playing on curve every single turn and reacting somewhat, making micro adjustments against your opponent. That's what I like about Limited. So we got there. We are now 1-1. And no alterations. Next game. Play first. Okay, I like the lands that we're looking at. Got somewhat of an early drop. We are getting a lot of ill-gottens in our opening hands. I'm only playing 1, but we've seen it quite often. I know on game 2 I put 2 of them in, but let's let them know what colors we're going. Probably, if I could take that back, I would have just played an extra planes, but I made the decision. Clicks over. Okay. Here I will... Doesn't matter terribly what land we choose. Hopefully we get 1 swing off. We can play the Blade Jungler on turn 4. 2 Growth Spirals. I don't know how I feel about that, but he's getting ahead in the mana. Really far ahead. Code of Constraint. Okay. A little unfortunate that we can't play our Blade Juggler, but we have a drop. Definitely don't expect this to finish the game as it stands. Okay, here... Grasping Thrall versus Blade Juggler. probably the Grasping Thrall. Right? Now, do I block? I don't think so. I'll let him swing if he's going to. Yeah, because I want to put on the pressure. I don't care so much about my life total, but I do care about his. If he's got another Chillbringer as follow-up, that'd be a good move. But I've got a Grasping Thrall. Another one. Reclamation is scary in these types of decks. I don't think it's a particularly good limited card, but, you know, he's got the ramp. He's probably got counter magic. There's no creatures in the graveyard, which means I'm against playing the Carrion Imp. We'll swing because my cards get Vigilance. And if he has a Frilled Mystic, well, I guess he doesn't have his second Forest, so I'm not scared about Frilled Mystic for playing the Grasping Thrall. Applied Biomancy, giving me this back to my hand. Probably just end up playing it. Fine with me. Just give me more and more value. Okay, so he had a plan. Well, good for him. I still think I'm ahead, unless he has a few turns like that. The Ill-Gotten just doing work every turn. Terramander, adapting it. Okay, now I need to draw removal. That is removal. He can't activate the Sorrow form yet. I believe the play here is to consign the pit. I'm not going to play around counter magic. Do I get punished? Nope. That's good. Attack. Just get that 2 points of extra free damage. He stumbled a little bit. If he had another forest, it'd be way scarier. That's a good card for him because he can adapt quite often. Don't much care about that kind of swing. Basilica Bellhaunt. This leaves us with 2 mana open. I think I'm going to just hit it. Let's see. Or did I just do the Grasping Thrall? I'm going to choose the Grasping Thrall. I don't think the decision matters terribly. Just any extra damage is good for me. If I attack, will he block? If he double blocks, I'm okay with that. This adapts. What would I kill? Probably the Sorrow form. I want to keep the pressure on. Double blocks. Again, kill the Sorrow form. First, yep. Okay, good stuff. Here, we put in a drill bit as a hedge against counter magic. What else do we do? I don't think anything beyond that. Is this good enough to keep the cry in? I'm going to say yes. I like all the removal I'm keeping. Carrion Imp really isn't that great against his flyers. Take it out. Might be the weakest card that I can see in here. Just because if he plays a Chillbringer, and he's presented that he has at least one, it can't block the Chillbringer. It's a 4-drop for me. Let's mulligan this away. Okay, definitely keepable. And hopefully we draw good stuff. As always. That's a fun card to keep on top. Start off the plains. Next into a swamp. Okay. He will not block. Skittering Eel. Good part about Skittering Eel is that he might sink mana into it, and I can still Summary Judgment it. Okay, we're playing the plains. If I swing with both, do I sack any creatures? Like, let's say he blocks here. He won't block here. But if he does this, do I sack my creature? I'm going to elect no. I don't want to give up too many of my resources. But then if I play this card, do I sack it? Somewhat of a weird spot here. Well, I'll definitely attack with the Plague Rite. Attack with this, get the extra damage in. And do I play this and sack? You know what? I don't think so. We're just playing our board. I don't want to give up either of these cards. They both have value to generate. What's it gonna do? He's got his colors this game. Last game he only had one forest. I know he can adapt. Here, let this go through. Sure. Because I have Summary Judgment. Okay, we forced him to use, or he elected to use this on his turn, which means that he won't have a follow-up, but you know, probably not. And then I can use Summary Judgment on it. Okay, he's tapped out. Play that. Summary Judgment. Am I going to swing with everything? I believe the answer is yes. Is he going to trade with this? I think that's okay. Goodbye, Pitiless. No? Okay. Well, we'll trade with the Plague Rite. Now, do I sacrifice? No, because I want this extra 2 damage in. So he's going to have to play something. Ghost Spiral's not it. He's going to have to play a blocker. Doesn't. Immediately swing out. We are safe against Quench. That would have been a reason to play a land beforehand if we weren't. Okay. And I don't think he has any board clears. We're looking good. Even if he did, the fact that I have Afterlife. Alright. That's 2 games. At minimum, with this, I did say this was a 5-win deck. It's because the cards are good enough that this should be a 5-win deck. But at this point, if I get one more win that overall makes the run worth it, you get your money back, you get your gems back, you get 4 packs, and you get whatever we chose out of here. So that's a win in my book. But that being said, this deck has greater potential to do it. The alterations, seeing what we saw, Cry is good enough to keep. Made that decision. Carrying Imp for game 1s. It's just a 2/3 flyer. I know the fact that it's 4 mana is not great. I'm going to keep it for now. See what we're up against. Good selection of lands. 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop. I like it. Opponent goes first. Drawn. I like this card. Just a 3-mana 2/3. It's not awesome stats, but the vigilance just helps you on the game plan of keep on doing it. Make him answer it. Keep on attacking every turn. No downside. Unless he plays blockers, and then we have removal for those blockers. So that would trade off with that one. Okay, what's your follow-up? Rakdos, you should have a follow-up. There you go. Okay. I want to set myself up for Basilica Bellhaunt next turn, which is the reason why I played the Swamp, and if we draw a Swamp, that would enable us to do so. Just a small thing. Here, am I going to block the Plague Rite? I believe the answer is yes. I don't want to be taking 2 damage. He's got something Spectacle that he can do. Yep, skewer the critics. Hopefully we draw a Swamp. We did not. It was off-color land. Ill-Gotten's a great card against Rakdos. Essentially negates the Spear Spewer. Although he still gets the activation off of it. The Spectacle. Another Plague Rite. Our Golden Demise seems to be a good answer, especially against what we're seeing, so we know that's in there somewhere. Here, definitely going to play that. Now, what do I choose? The Grasping Thrall still dies to the Plague Rite. Let's choose this because I want to see more of my cards. I know I want to see a Swamp, or I want to see Grotesque Demise. Here I'll block a Plague Rite. Scorch Mark's a great card for him because he puts in 4 damage. 5 effectively with the Spear Spewer. So this is what I like about Rakdos. You can do so much with so little. Just 2, kind of crappy removal. And anything. I mean, Plague Right's just an anything card. Here, Basilica Bellhaunt is just... that's the move. Gains me 3 life, puts a big body down, forces him to discard. It's like the anti-Rakdos card. He discarded a Spear Spewer. Great. This buys us a lot of time before we get to Cry. If we get Cry, it's GG. And I might have lost the game by now if I didn't have this Ill-Gotten. Maybe not by now, but just overall. This helps us every turn. We can buy time, and the Ill-Gotten just gains us that life while putting, 1 damage worth of pressure. Not sure why he attacked there. Maybe he had to for Spectacle. Yep. Fine with me. Cry at the top? Yes? No. Still playable, though. If I play this, I have 2 mana open, which means I can play the Oligarch. Then do I attack? I don't think so. I feel pretty good about my position. I feel very good. Okay, Oligarch. And you do not block the Plague Right with the Oligarch. That was enough for him to see. Against decks like this, I'm going to put in an Impassioned Orator. I might put in a Resolute Watchdog. Well, maybe. The Rakdos Trumpeteer. Maybe another Ill-Gotten. Vindictive. A Vampire. Take out a Pestilent Spirit. I like Carrying Imp. Maybe take out a Blade Juggler. Take out Consign to the Pit. I like having 3 Grasping Thralls. Just having a 1/3 defender. That's good enough. Maybe that's not the card. Twilight Panther is out. I'd rather have the Resolute than that. Pitiless. Take that out. Maybe 2 Ill-Gottens is overkill. Yeah. Might be overkill. This is one of those things where if we just stabilize, we win. We don't need Ill-Gotten. We don't need 2 of them. Just, our plan is to stabilize. And we have a lot of cards that do that. So that's why I added in the Resolute Watchdog. Stabilize, stabilize, stabilize. Okay, great. I'd like to see both our lands and playables. Seems like we'll need to draw 1 land in the next 3 turns to make these 4 drops effective. And I think that's very doable, very possible. Oh, excellent. Love to see that. We still need a swamp to activate it. So we're hoping to see a swamp. Plays a Plague Right. It's a pretty good card, bro. Got one of those. Now, you don't block because he'll kill off my guy. So neither of us can block each other. And that is an advantage to him because he's the aggressor. Rakdos Roustabout. So I really need to see my extra swamp. I'm going to do something a little crazy, and I'm going to play the Blade Juggler. I know I'm taking a damage, but I really just need to see that swamp. Because once I see the swamp, I can stabilize. Because he'll probably keep on playing, you know, 2 toughness or less creatures. So if he plays 1 or 2 of them by the time I find the cry, that just helps me. So Act of Treason, he may just eke out this win. Because that is a lot of damage early. There we go with the swamp. Now, do I play it? I don't even think so, because I've got the Basilica Bellhaunt, so it just swing. Well, do you swing? There's no creatures in either graveyard, which turns off Carrion Imp. I don't need to swing. I'll just play this. Gotten pretty lucky that I have the Cry, the Basilica, and 2 swamps. And how much damage do I need to do? I don't think any here. Then what do I block? I'll do a Blade Juggler, I'll block, or Basilica blocking the Plague Rite. The Plague Rite blocking the Rakdos Roustabout. Yeah, you don't need to swing against aggro matchups. You just need to stabilize. And I feel that we've done so, but we'll see if he has anything crazy. Okay, that's not crazy. In fact, that's great. Okay, at this point, we have them down so that if we clear the board, I know I'd be clearing off 2 of my creatures, but then we just have a big guy. And we've got a lot of follow-up. I feel comfortable hitting the Cry here. You know, let's even be crazy. Let's wait a turn, because we are planning on playing Cry this turn to the next turn, like against this board. So I'm gonna play the Resolute Watchdog. I'm gonna swing with my 2 guys I expect to die this turn or next turn anyway. I'm gonna activate the Resolute Watchdog. This is a little bit silly. I feel very confident no matter what happens here. This is not the most, you know, conservative way to play this, but probably just let that occur, right? Sure. This way we just got 2 extra damage in for the Cry that we're going to cast anyway. And I think I expect to concede from him. The funny part about this is that there's still no creature cards in the graveyard, so I can't even activate the Carrion Imp. So we'll get rid of that, and we'll get rid of the Spirit of Spires. Okay. Sure. We'll do the Undercity Scavenger. Get rid of that card. Grotesque Demise, 2 of them. I want 1. Because I am looking for an extra land so I can play the card in my hand. So, you know, drawing 2 of these, it's obviously a good card, but I want to be playing the Grasping Thrall. Rakdos Trumpeteer is going to get Grotesque Demised. Well, not necessarily. If I swing out, if he blocks, I mean he won't, but If he does, then I didn't need to use the Grotesque Demise. And actually, one little move here is that we're going to wait for him to spend the mana on the activated ability before we use a Grotesque Demise. So you just want to make him use the mana. So we'll take that. And then when he clicks on that card, that's when we use it. So that probably blocks him off from whatever he drew, if it was a good card. It's a little thing. There you go. Alright, what do we have? 3 wins? Let's see. Necrotic Wound. So 3 wins. At this point, we've made our money back, but I expect to get these last 2. Keep going. Play first. Oof. No early drops, and instead we have removal. I'm not going to mulligan this, but you'd rather have like that 2-drop or 3-drop, the Plague Rite, or the Vigilance dude. Let's see how it goes. Okay, still an okay draw. I mean, it gets us, it's a 4 mana. We have 4 mana in our hand, so it's not the worst. Another Grotesque Demise. I'm actually not mad about that. I'm not going to use it yet. Because, just a 1/2 is not that impactful. I would love if he didn't play a land here. He does. Blade Juggler is definitely a target for the Grotesque Demise. So we got that little activation, but if we had used it and stopped that, first of all, we don't know that he has this card, so he swung and then held that information before he could play it. So that was, correct sequencing from him. But then if I'd used a Grotesque Demise on the 1/2 and prevented this from occurring, you're just playing into unknowns. But now I know that I want to use this target. Hopefully that explanation makes sense. Okay. Playing that. Yeah, again, the funny part with the Grotesque Demise is that that creature goes into exile, not the graveyard, so I can't activate my Carrion Imp. I may end up playing it anyway here. It's just a 2/3 flyer versus having a 3/3 on the board. Yeah, and I'll use it actually to block the Twilight Panther. If he wants to spend a mana killing my creature, so be it. I believe that's just how I'm going to play it. And that's really good that he played a Plains instead of a Swamp. Just cuts him off from that much. I know we're looking the exact same, but trying to find the positives. Okay, what do we do here? I don't like playing Grotesque Demise because it gives him the ability to me doing nothing and him untapping. So here I want to play my Undercity Scavenger. We'll make him block because I think I'm going to sack this creature anyway. It doesn't do anything on this board state, and I might as well set myself up for successful turns. So he doesn't block. Sometimes you just get free damage in. And this actually allows me to play the Blade Juggler, which is a better play. So, good stuff. That's why we attack sometimes. So even though it doesn't make sense, why not? If he had blocked, no big deal. Just play the Undercity Scavenger, sack my own creature, set myself up. Here, I got to do it anyway. The downside of doing that is now I can't block his, but, you just play like you are in the lead as long as you have the cards that that make you think that you're going to be in the lead. Does that make sense? Like, because you've drafted and you think you're good and you think you're better and you're always trying to be the best player. So that's why you do the decisions that you make. Hopefully you guys get what I'm saying by that. So cut himself off from his black source to trade. I've already got value out of my card. That is probably a better target for my Grotesque Demise. Here, we're just going to play on curve. I'll end up blocking the 2-1 with my 2-3, and I'll block the 3-3 with the 2-3 as it stands on board. Okay, he's got to follow up. That helps him find more land, which is probably what he's looking for. Okay, bottoms it. That's good. You'd rather see, if they're scrying, the one bottom card versus keeping it on top, because then you know it's a good card. So I'm happy about that. Here, I'll probably just keep on playing the Grasping Thrall. Do I swing? If I swing, will he block? I think I'm okay with that. What will he block? Probably just do that. If he wants to block here, that's okay with me, because I've got another one. And so we're just 1-for-1 trading. And you 1-for-1 when you think you have the better deck, and I have the better deck. At least that's my contention. Don't always play that way. If you don't have the better deck, don't make decisions like that. You got to find other ways to win. Okay. Here, I may sack my own creature just to set myself up for cards. If I attack, I can always Grotesque Demise one of these guys. Perhaps I'll do that. I have 6. Something to note is I have 6 mana, which means I can play the Grotesque Demise and the Pestilent Spirit. So we'll do that. I will attack with one. He'll block with both. I'll Grotesque Demise one of them. Get the advantage. That's fine order. Choose one. Kill off that one. He gets a 1/1 flyer. And then I play my Pestilent Spirit. And our board state looks advantageous to us now. Always gaining the advantage on the board. What's he gonna do? If he does nothing, well, he did something. So if he does nothing, I was thinking about Consign to the Pit, the 1/1 flyer, so I could just get the most amount of damage in. I still may do that. I'm not going to swing with the Pestilent Spirit because he could just double block, and then all of a sudden he has more and more flyers that could 1, 2, 3 triple block my Grasping Thrall, allowing him a way to get back into it. So here, I may just Consign to the Pit on the 1/1 and just swing. The problem with this type of play is that if he has a huge, big, like Grasping Thrall of his own follow-up, he blocks me off from more damage, and he may just regain the board. So that's the problem with playing with that kind of play. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't think he'll have that, because his best play was Noxious Grudian. So if he had a Grasping Thrall or something big, he would have played it, which means he doesn't have it. Now, he might draw into it, but you don't play... it is okay to play, like, forcing them to draw the perfect card. Because if he does it, that's variance, it happens. But he's most likely not going to. So that's the mentality behind that. He has a Grotesque Demise. He elects to do the Pestilent Spirit. Interesting choice. And then he elects to swing. Also, not a decision that makes sense to me. Because if you're going to swing and I'm going to swing, I'm going to win this. Okay, so he makes a decision for a reason. He has follow-up. The bad part for him is that I have stuff to follow up. Very good card with Blade Juggler. That's a little thing. I'm going to keep the planes. Okay, here I'm going to keep the planes just in my hand as a bluff card. It's a small thing. Here I'm going to play the Undercity Scavenger, but I'm not going to sack my Blade Juggler because he has a 2/2 with Death Touch, so my 5/5 just doesn't get that much value out of it. So we're going to play it. We're going to decline. We're going to end the turn. He has to have a way to both deal with my flyer. Okay. A little bit punished, so it means we should have played that, but whatever. And that gaining 3 life is going to be huge. Takes him from a 2-turn clock swinging with this guy to now a 3-turn clock. But because we drew the Ill-Gotten, first of all, swing with it, and then let's see, I'm not going to attack with anything else because he's got this 3/4. Boom. And if he doesn't have an answer for this, we win next turn. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Ill-Gotten is really good. It's just, I've won so many games because of it. You get them real low, let them stabilize, and then go with your game plan. Because at this point, the board state doesn't matter. And there you go, concede. Here, having the Cry the Carrion is definitely very good because he's got the Ministrant of Obligations, which is the 2/1, the Afterlife 2 that you saw in there. Might be worth putting a Just Cards Portal because we saw Grotesque Demise. So if he spends 3 mana on his turn to do that, I can just kind of counter it in a way. Trying to think about anything else. Nothing else is worth bringing in. And then what do we take out for adding in the Just Cards Portal? I don't want to get rid of anything. I'm going to have to. Maybe the Pitiless. It's just a little bit less good. We'll try that. Okay, good first draw, removal, playable, and then something to work towards. So this is great. Okay, here, it's not a big deal, but play the planes first. He already knows our colors, so it doesn't matter. Okay, Noxious. Here you don't play the Grotesque Demise. A lot of players will make the mistake of just on their turn using it. No, use his turn. You've got the tempo. Play your drops, meaning this one, and then just save this. You don't need to just, because if I use this, then it goes back to him. He plays a 4-drop, and you know then I'm falling a little bit behind. Whereas here, the fact that I have this up causes him to possibly not swing. And then I could still have this as an option for later. So, here I'm going to just play the Swamp in case I draw the Cry. And I'm going to need that double black. No creatures in the graveyard. I'm going to swing because it has Vigilance. do anything about this? I don't think so. What we did is just put a creature in the graveyard. We traded 1 for 1. That's alright with me. A little bit extra. Because, you know, my creature I don't really care about. His creature was a problematic creature. Okay. He elects to Grotestimize on his turn. And we have the Grasping Thrall. Hopefully he doesn't have another one or a way to kill it. If he has a drop, we'll take care of it. If on the next turn he doesn't kill this, then we have a way to protect it. And actually an excellent way to protect it. It doesn't matter, because he had a way to deal with it. But taking 5 damage, I'm happy about that. We need to draw creatures. Didn't draw a creature there. This turn I'll Grotestimize his creature. He's got those follow-ups. Okay. Would have liked to see a bigger creature, but doesn't work out. Now, do I ever Justicar's Portal, get the 1/1, block his creature, and then this would have first strike? But it doesn't matter because he would kill it anyway. It's not a great play. I wonder if I would do that, though. Gets me that little bit of extra damage each turn. As I'm doing it, am not agreeing with this play, but we're going to try it out. We're going to try it out. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot, because I didn't even get... Oh my god. I thought that the Afterlife would trigger on that, but of course it exiles it. So... that was bad. Pretty major mistake. You just gave a card away for nothing. Here... yeah, so that was just unfortunate. Bad plays, bad plays. I don't play with this card very much, and you can see stuff like that happens. We know he's playing a Basilica Bellhaunt. I'm going to elect to kill his creature. I'm going to swing. If he wants to trade, fine. Yeah, that was a major mistake. I'm sorry about that. That was not a good showcase. Just gotta think about my plays a little bit more carefully. But that we recovered. Most likely going to discard a land here. Yep. And then I'm fine with putting under pressure. He really doesn't want to block this guy because he's thinking that maybe he could block this guy later on, but I'm not going to give him that option. I'm just going to keep hitting ahead. Tries to draw something. We've got him on the back foot here. Blade Juggler, dealing a damage. Happy to see that. I'll still probably keep swinging. Oh, that's a good draw. Now, here, do I attack with everything? No, because he will block this one. I think that's okay, because I'm getting him down pretty low. And I know I have something with Menace. I'm going to swing all out. If he wants to kill off both my creatures, then that's fine with me. Because he does not know that I have a Menace 3/2. And then having the 1/1 as a little bit of extra damage is good too. Draws something, so that's good for him. No reason that I see I should attack with both of these. Attack and he blocks both these because I can only kill one. So I'm just going to do 1 damage a turn. I've made it so he cannot swing, so I've put him on the back foot. Just keep the pressure up. If I draw my Ill-Gotten, it's game over. Cry the Canarium will not do it for me here. A little thing here is I don't want to play the Swamp, and it's for a reason. If he draws his Basilica, Bellhaunt, and forces me to discard a card, I want to discard the Swamp because I won't need it. Okay, here I'll just play that Swamp. He's got to draw the exact right... He's got to draw an answer. And even if he draws an answer, that doesn't necessarily put him back in the game because I've got, you know, like I said, I have the better deck. At least you know, if you do, you play that way. And so even if he draws an answer, I will have follow-ups that he's going to have to deal with. Obviously, Ill-Gotten Inheritance included. That is not a card that's going to help him. This is a good card. Helps me replace. And we're digging. Ill-Gotten Inheritance and game over. Suppose he could draw a Basilica Bellhaunt. Nah, that doesn't do it for him either. I think we've just got it. Oh, wow. Kaya's Wrath. Nice. Well, look at this. Got my own. Good game. So there we go. We are well on our way to get that 5 in a row win streak like I was talking about. We gotta do the final boss. Excuse me for 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Next, we're at the final boss now. So final boss, you know, obviously it's a joke. I'm just calling it because it's a 4X deck against another 4X deck, and we're both going for the final wins. Usually when people get to this point and they're at 4X, they have insane decks. So not a great opening compared to the last couple games. I'm going to keep it. And let's see what he's drafted. We'll play the swamp. Red, Rakdos, huh? Okay. We'll lay down another swamp. Hopefully it gives me a lot of stuff so I can get the most amount of value out of the cry. So far this is good. 2 for 1. Okay. I'm going to play slightly greedy here. At the cost of 3 life, I'm going to play somewhat greedy. Because I really want him to unload his hand. The only reason I'm doing this is I'm just hoping that I can... Because if he lays down like 2 cards here, with his Fireblade, he's incentivized to do so. Yep. I'm just getting extra cards. And then I hope that I can recover. Or stabilize, I should say. I can't take another hit like that, so... Gonna play a land, cry the Canarium. So I essentially 3 for 1'd. Put him down to 4 cards. He's got a follow-up. I'm gonna hard cast my Blade Juggler. Keep on digging, hopefully for removal. That's a good piece of removal that takes care of his one big guy. I'm guessing he's going to swing and do a Skewer the Critics. Nope, Acrobat, also a good card for him. If he swings, I'm going to block. That puts this in the graveyard, helps me cast the Carrion Imp. Good part is I could do Carrion Imp followed by Summary Judgment on the same, same mana base. What's he thinking about? Good part about having Summary Judgment is that no matter what he does with the Acrobat, we can Summary Judgment it. And it's good because he's a mana sink for it. He elects not to swing. Interesting. What do we do about that? We're going to play that. I may just do Ill-Gotten Inheritance and hold up Summary Judgment. Again, I don't have anything in the graveyard. Constantly checking for that for the Carrion Imp, because I in this type of matchup I really value the 2 life it gets me. He didn't do anything. I'm going to play the Ill-Gotten and hold up Summary Judgment. And we'll see what he does. The reason I've been thinking about this is that Ill-Gotten is so good is because, enchantments in general, in Limited, there's not ways to deal with enchantments, especially in these colors. In white, they have the 3 mana one, the instant speed. But other than that, there's not a way to deal with it. So here, I'm going to elect to block the Acrobat. So then that means I'll use the Summary Judgment. And we feel good about our position here. Interesting card. Wonder what color that he's splashing for. Just play the Carrion Imp, gain a little bit of life, take the Acrobat. Cult Guild Mage. What does this do again? making me discard a card or dealing 1 damage. Not very scared of it. Well, if he makes us discard a card, I'd rather discard the swamp. We'll just think about that for now. 1, 2, 3. And then, do I sack a creature? I'm gonna say no. I'll play, not that it matters. I'll play the swamp first. Play this. Don't think I'm gonna choose anything. If I were to choose something, the Blade Juggler, make this a 5/5. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to. I think so. Okay, Grasping Thrall, bottom that, setting ourselves up for a great next turn. Gonna attack. This cuts him off from, you know, having an ability to attack, or having a way to attack. Plays this with haste. That's fine with me, because he just made it a 2/2 instead of a 3/3. He doesn't know that I have a Grasping Thrall coming. I'm gonna always keep this Plains in my hand in case he... Well, I guess this is a sorcery speed activation only for the Cult Guildmage. The Guildmages are not that good in this set. They were pretty good in Guilds of Ravnica, but not Ravnica Allegiance. We'll just slam this guy down. And I'm probably going to swing out, I would imagine. I feel very safe at 15 life. Almost no matter what he does. And I've got him on the back ropes. You know, here, my mentality is he wants to do damage to me. He wants to do, 15 damage. That's his game plan. But if I make it so that he's going to die if he doesn't take care of what's on my board, that makes it so that my life total is safe. And then holding up the Plains just makes it a little bit of incentive for him to think about using this. I don't think he's going to, but it just gives him somewhat of an incentive to do so. So you can see that worked out for us. And another great part is we have plenty of stuff, such as the Impassioned Orator, maybe the Resolute Watchdog, maybe Rakdos Trumpeteer, just little stuff so that we don't die. This Tapa, against this deck, I might even just play 2. I know he's playing red, and if he plays a Daggercaster and gets value out of it, so be it, but he's got to have it, and I didn't see it yet. I'll take out a Blade Juggler. I'll take out Consign to the Pit. I'll take out Pitiless. A 2-mana 1/3 is not worth it, whereas having a 1-mana is worth putting in. A 1-mana 1/3. What else am I thinking about? Maybe a Final Payment? Take that out? Maybe just one Vizcapa. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try this. Okay, hopefully it works out. If we win this game, that's a 5-1 run. Okay, almost always he's gonna go first. I have 2 lands. If I get a third, I'm gonna have to get a little lucky here. It's almost a good enough hand. I'm gonna keep it, but it's almost... I have 2 turns to draw into stuff. Well, that's good. Got it on the first one. We'll drop that down. We'll swing. Burning Tree Vandal. Maybe if I had thought about that. I knew I saw that last turn. Maybe I would have kept this up, but I made the decision to swing, so. Here I'll keep it up, play this, and just pass. If he swings with this, I'll kill it, but he's already gotten his value out of it with the discarding, the rummaging. So one little thing, I don't know if you guys knew this, rummaging is when you discard a card and then draw a card, and then looting is when you draw a card and then you get to discard a card. Looting is better, but rummaging is a red thing. Luckily, we have a target for the Carrion Imp to gain life. Happy about that, because he discarded a card. Just at 2 extra life. No attacks. We got real lucky that he doesn't have a very aggressive opening. He's got his own Ill-Gotten. I'll answer with my Ill-Gotten, most likely. Ill-Gotten and Resolute Watchdog. And then I'm doing 2 damage a turn. I'm okay with this. Okay. Now that changes some things because I drew the extra swamp. A little hesitant to play this because he might have removal for it, but I suppose that's okay. I don't... Because he's not playing creatures, he's not playing a whole bunch of stuff, that signals to me that he has some sort of removal. Now, 4 life is quite big, so it's out of skewer the critics range. Just like to think about these things. Because if I answer with the Ill-Gotten of my own, that just keeps up with each one of his plays. It's kind of 2 ways to go about it. Either I just answer what he's playing and just keep up and do 2 damage, which means I'm ahead, force him to play something spectacular, or play my own thing, but possibly give him value out of his removal that I believe he has. I'm going to go with this play. Good. The fact he discarded any creature is awesome. Maybe I should have swung with the 1-2. Okay. Nice. I drew some removal. And the best part is I have the land. I can't swing, but I can swing with that. I think that's it. Now, if he tries to kill this creature, I can always Resolute Watchdog, and I believe that'd be worth it. Because my 2 flyer doing 2 damage a turn seems very much worth it right now. Just trying to think ahead. Okay. Acrobat, fine. Still no way to take care of my carrying imp. Nice. Just lay that down, put it out of range of skewer the critics. And then it also just puts another 2/4 flyer. So that's a great draw. Keep plinking away. Okay, ill-gotten inheritance. Sure. Don't think he'll elect to sack anything. He might. He's already getting the spectacle trigger off of his ill-gotten. He plays a Rakdos, Roustabout. Not too scared of it. Next turn I'll swing with these two. Elects to do the Acrobat. I am going to block that with my Twilight Panther and give it Death Touch. I think he feels the pressure that he just has to do something. And if he eliminates a bunch of things off my board, then he can start swinging with his Gore Clan. So I'm not going to sack my Resolute Watchdog just yet. Like to save that for my 3/4. You know, if he has like a Sure Strike. Okay, let's give my creature Death Touch. And if he's got a card that like give it First Strike or something, then so be it. That's fine. Is that Sure Strike the 1-mana red card that gives it first strike? I'm not sure. Sure Strike. No. Ah, whatever. Okay, using a timeout. Nice. Final Payment is an awesome card to have. I don't mind taking 5 life at this point to kill off something. Attack with our flyers. Just put the pressure on. It's got another ill-gotten inheritance. Sort of annoying, but it's not going to win him the game right now. I think seeing both of these makes me want to put a third one in case he finds a way to win this game. If we go to game 3. Here's a turn he might swing. Get that dead card most likely out of his hand. Nope, skewer the critics. In response here, I get to sack a creature and take care of... What am I taking care of? Probably the Gore Clan. So that was a great draw for me. Effectively negating that card. And I get to maintain my lead. Just playing anything here is awesome. Especially a 2/1 creature that could block anything he's presenting. Next turn, do I have lethal? Dealing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, we got it. Nice. Wow. All right, 5 wins, 5-1. We'll take it. Claim the prize, get 2,100 gems, 6 packs. Let's crack those. So I've collected all the rares at this set, so I'm not sure if that predisposes me to getting mythics. Doesn't seem to be, but I'll take the 20 gems. Just set myself up for War of the Spark coming up. I already bought my was it 50 packs for 50 bucks? Seemed like a good deal to me. Okay, 3 rares. Four rares. 5. Okay. And final pack. Can we get a mythic? No. That's alright. Alright. Good stuff. Well, thanks for watching, guys. That's a 5-1 Orzhov run. And I'll upload it shortly. Alright. See you next time.